for Lesson 2, Ratios and Rates. Our learning objective is that you will write ratios and rates in 3 different ways. Unlock the problem. A bird rescue group is caring for 3 eagles, 2 hawks, and 5 owls in their rescue center. You can compare the numbers of different types of birds using ratios. There are 3 ways to write the ratio of owls to eagles in the rescue center. Okay, we're just talking owls to eagle. There's 5 owls and 3 eagles. So we can write it using words. We would just write it as 5 to 3. As a fraction, we have 5/3, or 5 out of 3. And with a colon, we already talked about that one, so it's 5:3. We would just read it as 5 to 3. Ratios can be written to compare a part to a part to a whole, or a whole to a part. Okay, so we're going to write each ratio using words as a fraction and with a colon. So owls to hawks, if we look up there, there are 5 owls to 2 hawks. We can also write that as 5 to 2 and 5 to 2. Now that is a part and a part because there are 5 owls and 2 hawks. Those are just parts of the bird rescue group. B is part to whole. So eagles to total birds in the rescue center. So there's 3 eagles, but to find the total, we have to add them all up. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 5 is 10. So it's 3 to 10. That's part to whole. We write it as 3 over 10 and 3 colon 10. Okay, again, part to part was the first one, part to whole is the second. Now we're going to do whole to part. So we're going to do total birds in the rescue center, which we just decided was 10. So total birds to hawks, which is 2. So 10 to 2. And we can write that as 10 over 2 or 10 colon 2. The ratio of owls to total number of birds is 5 to 10. Explain what that ratio means. That means that there are 5 owls for every 10 birds. Sorry, my pen keeps erasing. All right. So again, there's 3 different types. For example, a restaurant sells veggie burgers at the rate of $4 for 1 burger. What rate gives the cost of 5 veggie burgers? Write the rate for 5 burgers using words, as a fraction, and with a colon. A rate is a ratio that compares 2 quantities that have different units of measure. A unit rate, you're going to really need to know what a unit rate is. The unit rate is a rate that makes a comparison to 1 unit. The unit rate for cost per veggie burger is $4 to 1 burger, or $4 over 1 burger. Okay, so a unit rate compares it to 1 unit. A rate is a ratio that compares 2 quantities, does not have to be compared to 1. Okay, over here under math idea, pay attention. It says a rate can be written as a ratio, A colon B, where B does not equal 0. Complete the table to find the rate that gives the cost of 5 veggie burgers. Okay, so we'd think, so 1 veggie burger is $4, so 2 veggie burgers would be 4 plus 4, 4, 2 times 4, so the cost is $4 for 1, or we would do 2 times 4, which is 8. 3 times 4 is 12, and that would be if we did 3 times 1. 4 times 1 is 4, and then up here we would have to do 4 times 4 for the top, which is 16. And then we have to take 5 times 4, which is 20, and 5 times 1, which is 5. So that keeps for 2 veggie burgers, it'd be $8. For 4 veggie burgers, it's $16. So the table shows that 5 veggie burgers cost $20. Now, we're not done. We have to write that in 3 different ways. So the rate that gives the cost for 5 veggie burgers is $20 to 5 burgers, or we can write it as $20 over 5 burgers, or we can write it as $20 colon 5 burgers. Write the rate in 3 different ways. Let's go ahead and look down here at try this. So the cost of 3 veggie burgers, if we look back up at the chart, it is $12 to 3 burgers. It's also $12 to 3 burgers. And you could write that also as $12 to 3 burgers. And B says the rate that gives the cost of 4 veggie burgers. So that's 16 for 4 burgers. Write that as $16 over 4 burgers. And you can write that as $16 maybe colon 4 burgers. Explain why the ratio $4 for 1 burger is a unit rate. And that's because it compares it to 1. So it compares dollars to burgers. And shows the cost for 1 burger. Again, it compares it to 1 something. So 1 burger makes it a unit rate. And to explain the pattern you see in the table in the example, we would just, each time that the number of veggie burgers increases by 1, the cost increases by 4. So burgers increase by 1, cost increases by 4. All right, and just a quick reminder what our objective was is that you will write ratios and rates in 3 different ways. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher.